Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over these plates that you see in my hand right here and that are in the plate carrier that I'm wearing right here. These are from AR500 Armor. They are a level 3 plate and they're a polyethylene plate. And these things here, I had never actually handled one in person until I just got these in a couple weeks ago. And you know, you read online, it says right on them there that they are 3.3 pounds, and you kind of don't really have a reference for what that's like. But I tell you what, you put these things in a carrier versus some level 4 plates, which is exactly what I did. This plate carrier here is one I've been using for a while. You guys have probably seen it on the channel, and it had previously had level 4 ceramic plates in there. Those are about 8 pounds a piece, and they're the exact same size. So these are a 10 by 12 inch plate, exact same size in terms of height and width. And this carrier was lightened by 10 pounds. That is significant. Anybody who's ever carried around armor or worn armor for any length of time will tell you 10 pounds is huge. And there's definitely a significant difference in terms of your fatigue, your back pain, your neck pain, etc. When wearing these versus something level 4. So level 3 versus level 4, for those that don't know, essentially level 3 is rated to stop rifle rounds. We'll put the actual numbers up here on your screen. And level 4 is rated to stop armor piercing rifle rounds. So these ones are not rated to stop armor piercing. So if you guys have seen some other tests online, you may see that sometimes 855 goes through it, whereas in general M193 will not, regardless of the actual barrel length. And that's odd. So if you kind of look around versus other types of armor, particularly steel armor, the 193, because it's going much faster than 855, tends to be the armor killer in that category. But with these plates, it's not really the case. And one of the reasons for that is kind of how they work. So like I said, it's polyethylene, and then it's all bonded together and heated together to create one piece that we have here. Then on the back, they actually put some padding that's built into that. That makes it a little bit thicker. So I believe the plates here are 1.3 inches. But the reason they put that padding is because if you get multiple hits in one area on these plates, while it will stop it versus ceramic. So I'm going all over the place. But with ceramic plates, say if you shoot it with 7.62 by 5.1, sometimes, depending on the angle of the hit, an area of up to 3 inches can be damaged because the ceramic actually cracks, and that's part of how it's designed and that's how it works. It can compromise it for subsequent shots. With these, that's not the case. However, subsequent shots can cause increased backface deformation with this type of material. So that's why they have the increased padding on there. It is level 3 without any sort of trauma pad or, you know, soft armor as well. So it's a standalone level 3 plate. But we're going to test it with a bunch of different rounds today and kind of go over what we think of it overall. But let's just get into the testing. We have the plate downrange 15 feet from where I'm sitting, so it's basically going to be muzzle velocity at the impact. We have some 123 grain Red Army Standard here and a 16-inch AK. As you guys just saw in the slow motion there, we came in right here, top right quadrant on it, and we did have a little bit of backface deformation on it, but not bad. If that was on your chest, you'd be just fine. You'd probably have a little bit of a bruise, but you'd be going on to fight another day for sure. Same distance, everything else is the same. We have some Federal M193 out of a 16-inch barrel. This is the Colt 6940, and we'll see how she does. We had the impact on the left side of the plate, and as you guys can see, there's backface deformation. It's probably right about the same amount that we had there with the 7.62 by 3.9. Of course, 7.62 by 3.9 is a much heavier round, 123 grain or 124 grain. So more than double what we're getting here at the 55 grainer, but that one's going much, much faster and holding together just fine. You'd be doing okay if you took those rounds. Next up, we have some 62 grain M855 from Federal, 5.56 round, again out of a 16-inch barrel. Truth be told, this is probably going to be the hardest test for the plates today. Like I said, it doesn't stop armor piercing rounds, and while 855 isn't exactly armor piercing, it tends to behave like it, particularly at this distance with these velocities. I'm going to give it, well, let me stop. You guys stop the video right now. Let us know down below if you think it's going to go through. I'm going to say my guess is about a 75% chance it'll go through, but we'll find out. as you guys probably already know from the slow motion, that one did go through. We had penetration right there in the middle. Had a little bit of deformation, which means it was slowing the bullet down, but it just pushed through. That said, I'll be interested to see how it does a little bit further distance out of the 16-inch barrel. So I'm gonna set this down range. I don't know the distance yet. I'll determine that as we go down there and kind of assess the conditions. It's really, really swampy out in the field today, but we'll go out pretty far, at least as far as I can get out, and we'll see what it'll do at distance. Same ammo, guys. You guys can see the green tip, 8.55, targets down range at 100 yards. I'm gonna have to kind of pick this bipod up a little bit. It's we got some rolling terrain that probably doesn't show on camera, but we'll get up to try to not hit the dirt. That's not normally advised. Let's go check it out. I'm not sure how apparent it was with that target cam, but we did get penetration out there at 100 yards. What's interesting about this is I've seen tests of very similar plates, if not these actual plates, where folks have shot 8.55 out of a 14.5-inch barrel and not had penetration. So I kind of thought at 100 yards, it's not going to penetrate, but you'll see the exit holes on both the 15-foot one and then the 100-yard one are very, very different. I'd be willing to bet if you went out like, I don't know, 20, 30 more yards on that one, it wouldn't make it through. It's more torn than we are here with the 15-foot one. This one kind of pushed through and punched through a little bit quicker. You can definitely tell that there's way more deformation because the bullet, again, is dragging that material through. But yeah, like I said in the intro, these are rated to stop rifle rounds, not armor penetrating rifle rounds. And while 8.55 isn't technically armor penetrating, it does have some of those properties and was designed for penetration. If you guys haven't watched Forgotten Weapons video on the round, go check it out. But that is one of the things it was designed for. But what I'm gonna do here is try to show the multi-hit capability of this plate. So we have some M193 loaded up here in this guy. So again, it's coming out pretty fast. We're gonna put it back at 15 yards, put a few rounds in it, and then maybe follow it up with some AK rounds, and then check that out. Once again, M193, 15 feet, and we're gonna see how it does here versus this barrage. All right, and then throwing it back, once again, we have that Red Army Standard stuff from Red Army Standard, I suppose, huh? AK. Ah, killed it. Let me go set it up and we'll shoot it a couple more times. Back on it with the AK. All right, let's go check it out. Interesting results there for sure. You guys can see on the front there, we have a ton of hits on there. I think we have 13 hits on there. And then we did have one of those, I think it was an AK round pass through from what I saw rather when I was shooting. You guys probably know better than me with the slow motion that you guys saw at this point. But I'm pretty sure that was an AK round that went through. And looking at the front, you can kind of see why. You guys can see 1, 2, 3 right there. 3 rounds right there at about 1 inch. So just stacking them on top of each other and it went through. However, it stopped most of them, and again, the 855, it's not rated to stop, but I just wanted to test it anyway to see how it would do. There's a couple other properties in the place we want to get into rather, I should say, before we close the video out though. We have a fresh plate out, so hopefully it'll illustrate things I'm about to say a little better than the one that's already shot up. Some features about it is that it has this silky sort of nylon material at the top and then both sides. It's not on the bottom, and the reason for that is to slide it into a plate carrier. It gives it a little bit of lubricity because, again, these are thicker than your standard plates, so it's going to be snug in a lot of different carriers. These are actually NIJ certified, so if you look around on the market, you'll see a lot of polyethylene plates that will say meets NIJ standards. That's different than actually being NIJ certified. So AR500 Armor sent these in for official testing by the book, by the NIJ, and they got the certification, so that is good. And again, they are rated for rifle rounds, not armor-piercing rifle rounds. These are made in the United States, and they will say, if you go to their website, that it has a shelf life or warranty for 5 years. Now, I question that. However, in the past, there's been some types of body armor materials that have been found over time to really break down quite quickly. There was a soft body armor that was used a lot in the late 80s and early 90s. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I'll roll it in here on the bottom of your screen though. What they found was after about, depending on the use, about 3 to 6 years, that stopped producing the NIJ certification that it promised. And the reason was a lot of officers were like folding up their plates, or rather their bulletproof vests, rolling them in a trunk, rolling them in bags, leaving them in hot trunks, those sorts of things. And it was breaking down that material. Now that material doesn't exist anymore, but because of that, the NIJ is very hesitant to give long-term ratings without actual long-term use. And like I said, these haven't been around really forever, certainly not as long as ceramic plates have been. And just as an example of that, up until a couple years ago, AR500 steel plates, regardless of manufacturer, were only rated for 5 years. And even now, I think they're only rated for 20 years, which is honest, that's BS. There's no way a steel plate is gonna degrade over 20 years in terms of bullet stopping properties. So just keep that in mind. One thing to always keep in mind with any type of product, of course, is going to be cost. Generally speaking, your level 3 polyethylene plates are going to be more expensive than your level 4 ceramic plates. Right now, these ones over at AR500 are about $260 a plate, and the level 4 is a little bit cheaper over there. That said, as you, the user, you always have to balance what you want, what you expect, and what you need for what you plan on doing. Just basic, real quick statistics. You're more likely to be killed with a hammer than you are with a rifle. And that's a rifle of any caliber using any ammunition. Using something that has armor piercing properties is even less than that. So in terms of running into the ability, or rather the need to stop M855, it's not high. However, it's possible, but it's not, again, it's not very likely for most folks. And the big thing, again, is going to be the cost and then the weight. For somebody who professionally wore body armor for many years, I will tell you that weight really, really matters if you're going to use it for any number, or rather any length of time. So again, if you're a professional and you guys wear armor, it's going to be up to you guys to decide. Or even if you're, a home defender and you want to wear armor, me personally, I would be perfectly comfortable using this for any type of threat that I expect to run into as a civilian, to possibly run into as a civilian. If somebody comes at me with 855 out of a 16-inch barrel, I'm good with it. But if they got like an AR pistol, it'll stop it. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions about the plates or anything else that we talk about here on the channel, you can always post down below in the comments section. You guys, if you have a question that you actually need to be answered, the best place to reach me is over at my Facebook page, because over there I respond to all the comments and questions I get in my inbox. However, sometimes it takes me a couple of days. I will get to you though, fear not. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you're looking for these plates to pick them up, we'll also put a link down below in the description. Thanks as always for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Even if you are subscribed and you didn't click the notification bell, go ahead and click that as well, because YouTube these days sometimes isn't showing my videos to my subscribers. So it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.